Hello guys, welcome to another episode. I have a 2003 Ford Focus and the motor mounts are bad. I have the 3 motor mounts in here. I'm gonna show you how to replace them. I'm gonna start the engine. I'm gonna put it in gear so you can see how the engine moves, and then I'm gonna do it after so you can see the difference. You can see how bad the engine moves when you put it in gear. So let's replace the motor mounts. 10mm bolt right here to remove the reservoir. On the back side, it has a clip. You have to push the clip and lift the reservoir. Put a jack on the bottom just to hold the engine in place while you remove the bolts for the motor mount. You have one bolt in there, another one on the bottom, another one on the other side. Those are 15mm and those two are 18mm. Spray some PV plaster, make everything easier. I'm gonna start with the two 18mm. And now the 15mm. I have a little bit of trouble to get it out because this motor mount is so bad. The motor mount is like this, so it's touching the thread. I changed the position on my jack. I put my jack on the oil pan, but I put a wood on it so it doesn't damage the oil pan. I have to raise it up a little bit more so the engine mount stays straight, and like that, it's not gonna be touching the threads. Now that it's straight, let's see if we can get it out. This engine mount is so bad, that's why I wasn't able to get it out. Now the only thing that we need to do is remove this nut on the bottom to swap the motor mount. This one is an 18mm. You're gonna need a dip socket for it. I had to get the impact to remove it. It doesn't want to let go. Now let's do some heat. Okay, let's give it a try now. If you notice on the bracket, it has a little cutout. It has to match with this right here. Once you have it in there, put the nut back on and get it tight. These bolts to the frame, they're gonna be 66 foot-pounds of torque, and the 2 bolts for the engine, they're gonna be 59 foot-pounds. I have 59 foot-pounds for those 2 bolts. And the other 3 to the frame, 66 foot-pounds. Remove the battery first. This one has a little strap to hold the battery in place. use a 10 millimeter. For the positive side, this car has a 30 millimeter. It has bolts to remove the plate for the battery, but before I do that, I'm gonna remove the air intake box because I think it's in between the two. It has 4 bolts, 2 on this side, 2 on the back side. Remove those 4, disconnect your sensor, and also it has a little clamp in here. You can use the screwdriver as well. Definitely need to filter. Now you can just pull on the tray. Has a hose on the back. From the inside, you can push it with the little pliers because it has just 2 little kind of like clamps. Push them to release the hose, or with your fingers. Now to do the driver's side mount, I put the jack with a piece of wood on the transmission pan. Okay, so we didn't have to remove the battery on this model. Some other models you do, but in this case the motor mount is right here on the back. To remove this mount, you need a 15 millimeter for the 4 bolts, and the one in the middle is 21 millimeter. Got a new one here. I check the forums, I check everywhere. I don't have a maintenance book for this vehicle because it's not mine. It's a client's car, so I'm gonna just get him tied. I don't find any information anywhere. So let me know in the comments if you know the torque specs for the driver's side. I'm just gonna get him tied. And we moved into the lower engine mount, the one on the bottom. For the bottom mount, I'm just gonna tell you what to do. Here is the transmission. Right on the back of the transmission, you'll see it right there, the motor mount. That one is a 30 millimeter, same as that one. Loose those up and make sure that you support the engine and transmission. So make sure that you know where the bolts came from. I think the one that goes across, that one is longer than the other one. Make sure that you do that, support the back of the engine once you remove those 2 bolts so you can get the motor mount out. See if I can get some footage for you guys. I removed the bolts and now the mount is almost out. Wow, that's why the engine moves like that. Look at this thing. It's all damaged. And now look at this. That one is cracking there. It's all damaged. That one is really bad. That one wasn't really bad, but that's why the engine moves like that. And especially when you start driving and you step on the throttle, the car shakes a lot. The whole car shakes, vibrates, and this is the reason why. Okay, now let me put the motor mount on the bottom, torque it down, and I'm gonna show you how the engine moves after the replacement. To put the motor mount in, you have to jack up the car even more with this jack, so the engine is gonna move to give you access to slide the motor mount. Once you put it right there in place, put that back bolt first. I moved the jacks just to make the engine to move forward, because the more that you raise the engine to get the mount out and the new one back in, the more that the engine is gonna go back. So make sure that you do this carefully. Now let me start the car, put it in gear, let's see the difference. Now the engine obviously moves when you put it in gear, but it's not like before. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I'm gonna be happy to help. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one. Peace.